Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. Lately, I've been putting up videos on the dangers of religion, especially Christianity, and how I feel about it, the Christian conspiracy point of view. And just to let you know, Jews and Muslims are not necessarily off the hook. They're just as bad too, in a sense. But the only difference is they don't necessarily try to convert people in large masses. You know, fundamentalists. In that sense, Jews pretty much keep to themselves. They're very picky about who they allow in, and Muslims are not really that much different. Christians, of course, on the other hand, they're trying to recruit as much as possible, and they do it in very subtle ways. In one video that I showed about a Christian cult stalked me, my personal story on that, which I highly recommend all of you to watch it because it's very disturbing. And of course, I'm not trying to put hurt or anger towards anybody just because I want people to get angry. I'm just doing this because I'm trying to prove a point about. I know there's I know there's good Christians out there, that are very liberal. They care about civil rights. They care about ethics, just like I do and stuff like that. And I have a few Christian friends that are pretty much liberal minded, and and they're that way. And I'm good. I'm very good friends with them, and they know that I'm agnostic. I do believe in the supernatural and stuff like that, like they do. And they also know that I don't believe in God or Satan. That, in my opinion, I just think they're made up. And they also know that I used to believe in that. I used to believe in God and Satan, that they exist and stuff like that for many years until I got into my 30s. And I started to question and doubt. And of course, there's a bunch of other things which I'm not going to get into. Um, the thing is, I want to show you a video that would show the strong impact of how much, like a virus or like a plague, if you want to look at it that way, about how Christian fundamentalism is pretty much taking control of this country, the whole world too. They're spreading out throughout the entire world, and there's not that many Christian liberals that match up to them. They're not matching up to them as in just worship God your own way. Just don't do anything bad to anybody else. Just stay out of trouble. Try to be a good person. Keep your faith in Jesus or in God or whatever you want to do. There's not enough people like that compared to Christian fundamentalists that's that are so fundamental in their beliefs of you better obey God, don't question them. Don't question God. He knows more than you. He knows what's best for you. He knows how you should live your life. Don't question him, otherwise you're insulting him. You're in danger of going to hell. Your soul's going to be in jeopardy, and all sorts of craziness. And I do have one friend who actually got brainwashed by these people, and I'm still good friends with him, which, my God, is like a miracle. And of course, it's mainly because we've been friends for so long. We share the same interests in martial arts because he was into kung fu just like I was, and I still am, of course. Physically, I'm not as fit like I once was, but I was very athletic, very flexible, and he was pretty much no different. And we used to practice and spar a lot. Our religious views were a little different, though, of course. And I wanted to show in this video the dangers of Christian fundamentalism. And this is not to make you try to convert you into believing that there's no God. It's not that. I just want you to just think and just say, maybe I might be right about what's going on. So just decide for yourself.
The more you begin to investigate what we think we understand, where we came from, what we think we're doing, the more you begin to see we've been lied to. We've been lied to by every institution. What makes you think for 1 minute that the religious institution is the only one that's never been touched? The religious institutions of this world are at the bottom of the dirt. The religious institutions in this world are put there by the same people who gave you your government, your corrupt education, who set up your international banking cartels, because our masters don't give a damn about you or your family. All they care about is what they have always cared about, and that's controlling the whole damn world. We have been misled away from the true and divine presence in the universe that men have called God. I don't know what God is, but I know what he isn't. And unless and until you are prepared to look at the whole truth, and wherever it may go, whoever it may lead to, if you want to look the other way, or if you want to play favorites, then somewhere along the line you're going to find out you're messing with divine justice. The more you educate yourself, the more you understand where things come from, the more obvious things become, and you begin to see lies everywhere. You have to know the truth and seek the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Furthermore, is there any non-biblical historical evidence of any person living with the name Jesus, the son of Mary, who traveled about with 12 followers, healing people and the like? There are numerous historians who lived in and around the Mediterranean, either during or soon after the assumed life of Jesus. How many of these historians document this figure? Not one. However, to be fair, that doesn't mean defenders of the historical Jesus haven't claimed the contrary. 4 historians are typically referenced to justify Jesus' existence. Pliny the Younger, Suetonius, and Tacitus are the first 3. Each one of their entries consists of only a few sentences at best, and only referred to Christus or the Christ, which in fact is not a name but a title. It means the Anointed One. The 4th source is Josephus, and this source has been proven to be a forgery for hundreds of years. Sadly, it is still cited as truth. You would think that a guy who rose from the dead and ascended into heaven for all eyes to see and performed the wealth of miracles acclaimed to him would have made it into the historical record. It didn't, because once the evidence is weighed, there are very high odds that the figure known as Jesus did not even exist. The reality is, Jesus was the solar deity of the Gnostic Christian sect, and like all other pagan gods, he was a mythical figure. It was the political establishment that sought to historize the Jesus figure for social control. By 325 AD in Rome, Emperor Constantine convened the Council of Nicaea. It was during this meeting that the politically motivated Christian doctrines were established, and thus began a long history of Christian bloodshed and spiritual fraud. And for the next 1600 years, the Vatican maintained a political stranglehold on all of Europe, leading to such joyous periods as the Dark Ages, along with enlightening events such as the Crusades and the Inquisition. Christianity, along with all other theistic belief systems, is the fraud of the age. It serves to detach the species from the natural world, and likewise each other. It supports blind submission to authority. It reduces human responsibility to the effect that God controls everything, and in turn awful crimes can be justified in the name of divine pursuit. And most importantly, it empowers those who know the truth, but use the myth to manipulate and control societies. The religious myth is the most powerful device ever created and serves as the psychological soil upon which other myths can flourish.
Again, this is not to get people angry that are religious, that are into Christianity and stuff like that. I'm not doing it for that reason. I do believe that I have the right to express what I believe is true. And if you feel that I'm being too offensive, I'm sorry. I'm not doing it for that reason. And just like with that other video that I did, for those of you who may have seen it or may not, especially those who haven't seen it yet, which is entitled, "The Holy Bible is Evil and Dangerous." And if you can't find it right away, just look under Dare to Speak. Dare to Speak, and then "The Holy Bible is Evil and Dangerous." And I explain what I actually feel about the Holy Bible. The warnings that I'm giving about how dangerous it is, and that it's mind controlling. And I even went as far as to do something that, which I'm not going to apologize for, what I did. And again, I even said in that video, just like I'm going to say to you now, I didn't do it in order to get people angry or to start a fight or just to be, a heartless person or a bad person. I'm just doing it because I'm protesting, that's all. I'm just trying to make a point. I apologize if you feel offended by it, but I'm not going to apologize for doing it. So hopefully you see that video, and I hope you feel okay about this video. Like I said before, like I said a couple of times already, please just do your own research. If you feel skeptical about what I'm saying, I mean, just at least try to do your own research, especially on this video, and just try to come to your own conclusions. If you feel that I might be right about what I'm saying, then great. If you still feel the same, if you still don't believe it, then fine. I mean, that's your right. I cannot tell you what to do or what to think. I can only give you advice about what's really going on and what you should stay away from my opinion, that's all. From what I suspect. But that's all I can do. And even if I could make people believe, I still wouldn't do it because it's a violation of free will. I can never do that to somebody. I can't. Everybody has the right to believe what they want to believe. But if I feel that there's something wrong, I feel I have the voice to say something and protest. And that's the reason why I'm doing this video as well as those other videos. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, or at least found it interesting. And to all of you, take care.